All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Plum Wild Recap, Episode 7, Williams Grove Week. I'm Nathan Waddell, the host, driver of the number 5 Apex Industries machine in the World of Outlaws Buttkicker Pro Series. And then to my right is Damian Kiefer, driver of the number 21 Apex machine in the Buttkicker Pro Series as well. How are we doing today, Keith?
We're here. We're living. It's hot.
It is so hot. It is so hot.
Dude. Thank you, Brett, for the bits.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. How about that? Thank you, Brett. Thank you so much. So you got a new mic. Let us
Absolutely.
know. Let us know how it sounds. It looks cool.
It does. It's sure for the looks. It is 10 out of 10. I look professional. Do I
Yeah.
feel professional? Yes.
Yeah, you should. You're a Pro Series driver.
Did I set it up professionally?
No.
Probably not.
No.
But we're gonna work on it.
So, yeah. So, anyways, week 7, Williams Grove. Not a good week. Not a good week.
Negative.
It was just, I don't know. We practiced a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
Felt
good going into it.
Yeah. I know you did.
I was off yesterday though, or Monday. I was
Right.
off, like just mentally tired.
Were you?
Yeah, I had a long day Monday.
I felt fine. Well, I actually do have an ear infection, but that wasn't. And I was.
Stop.
Yeah. Couldn't react in time. No,
Just a strep.
So, yeah. I mean, you, the whole week of practice, I felt like you were fast.
I was on it. Yeah.
You were really fast. The whole week that we practiced, consistently outrunning me by about a half a tenth on like qualifying lap speed. I think there was a couple of times there where I was right there with you, but I knew that I was, I don't know, it was a little tough. Williams Grove last year was not, or on the last build was not. I don't feel like it was this hard, really.
No, it's a lot more difficult, and yeah, I think we had speed. It's just a matter of fact of hitting the correct line and not goofing up your first qualifying lap.
Yeah, and we had tested and found that, the good thing about it was that you really had 2 shots at the lap, because generally your first lap is faster, but Williams Grove, I think, being such a big track with such long straightaways, and then on top of the fact that tires building heat can actually be a benefit now.
Yep.
We felt like we had 2 shots. Me personally, well, let's back that up. We practiced for a 0% track that we worked in to a certain point that we felt that qualifying was going to be at, because we thought we would be given a 0% track.
We still practice 5% though. And
not
like
really.
10%,
not
I
really.
Did.
I didn't. And so we thought, given what we had been given these past 3 or 4 weeks, where they set us at 0%, gave us 5, 3, 7 minutes of practice, whatever, let us work it in naturally for qualifying. We kind of prepped for that. And then Monday, they dropped a kind of a curveball on us and said, we're pre-genning it somewhere between 5 to 10% for qualifying. They gave us 0% for practice, but they're like, that doesn't really matter. Like, the whole practice is open because it's getting pre-genned from somewhere between 5 to 10% for qualifying. So once we found that out, got home from work, and we practiced on like a 5%, a 7%, and a 10%. And then they put us at 9%. And I'm pretty sure the line was bottom, just as close as you can fucking get to them.
It was.
As close as you can get to everything on the inside. That was the line. Tough to hit, but not impossible. So going back to it now, for qualifying myself, I feel like 1 and 2, I hit pretty decent on entry. The car kind of slid out a little bit in the middle of the corner. Got it back down on exit, and then 3 and 4, I really felt like I railed it really good, but I just didn't have the car at quite the correct angle, so I was kind of pulling to the left just a little bit too much, basically throughout the corner. And then I was like, all right, well, that was a pretty decent lap. Now I got my second chance here, another lap, and then I go into fucking 1 and 2 and kill the inside wall on the entry. So I only got one shot at it, and I think that put me, I don't know, somewhere around, let's see, where did I start? 5th in heat 2?
3 heats.
Right.
6th, 17th.
Speaking of which, there was only 27 people that showed up this week out of the 35 drivers, which was kind of interesting. I guess people weren't looking forward to Williams Grove, but so that put me starting, I think 5th or 6th in heat 2. And so what happened with you in qualifying? Because I thought you were going to out-qualify me at least.
Went into 1 and 2. I hit a pretty good lap there in 1 and 2, and then went to 3 and 4, and trying to get everything I could, and I overdrove the corner. I pushed, went for lap number 2, and completely missed 1 and 2 really bad, and put us way behind the 8 ball.
I think you qualified very near the bottom.
Yep. I was like half a second off.
Yeah, so it was like, I don't remember the second marker, but it was like Blake with like a 3, like a 0.3. I had hit like a point. I had hit like a 0.6, and you had hit like a 0.8. And so we were automatically behind the 8 ball. But it was really interesting that there was only 27 people there. So we had 3 heats. And then, those who are familiar with iRacing, probably most people watching right now, whenever there's a session like that where it has a set amount of heats and B mains and everything, if there's not enough people there, it'll adjust, and then now your B main and your C main don't really show correctly. You have to wait till you get there to see how many they're taking from each one, or how many they're running, or whatever. So we didn't know. It took a little bit of math between you, me, and Colin to figure out, how they were going to do it. So it was going to be 12 transferring out of the heats, and then 4 from each LCQ. So you and I were in the same heat. You were starting right behind. Oh, I remember now. So I started 5th. You started 7th.
Yep.
I'll go first. My perspective of that heat, I got a good start. They had kind of been running the bottom mostly in heat 1, so that was what I was going to try to stick. Thankfully, I'm starting on the inside. I wanted a little bit of a gap to the guy in front of me, who I can't remember who it was in front of me. Maybe Chase Hardy, maybe Robbie Buchanan, maybe. And I wanted a little bit of a gap so that going into 1 on the bottom with presumably a car on my outside, I would have room to charge and try to get the car to rotate without worrying about killing the person in front of me. It all worked out. Came out of 1 and 2, I believe in 4th, and got up, was rolling in 4th for 2 or 3 laps. Mike Augustine was able to kind of get below me on, I think, the back straightaway, and then we were kind of too wide for a little bit in 3 and 4. Pulled him. He got up beside me, I think, near the end of the front straightaway. We made a little bit of contact going into 1 and 2, and Logan Herbert kind of got a little bit of a run. And so we're going down the back stretch, and I don't even know that we're 3 wide. I have no clue. I'm just up there on the outside, me and Augie are like too wide. If in my mind, I'm right up against the wall. He's right next to me. And then we go into 3 and 4, and all of a sudden me and Augustine get blasted into each other, and Herbert had basically forced it 3 wide going into turn 3, and pushed. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that was the smartest move for him to force that 3 wide there going into turn 3. It's just not a smart. I just don't think it's a smart idea. If you're on the bottom and you're trying to force it 3 wide into turn 3, even turn 1 at Williams Grove, you just got too much momentum. If you can't hold it down, you're gonna kill the guys on the outside. And but you know, that's what happened. Me and Augustine obviously got together, and I thought I was going to turn him because I was lifting all the way out. He was just stuck on my front end. But Herbert drove away. I drove away. Augustine drove away. So Herbert got the final transfer. I finished 5th, and Augustine finished 6th. I still a little upset at Herbert for that, but whatever. It's water under the bridge at this point, I guess.
Yep.
So what happened? What happened for you? Because that yours did not last nearly as long.
I didn't even make it out of 1 and 2. I don't think.
Care to explain?
Had a good restart. Was on your tail on the bottom, and came out of the turn 3 wide, and I felt like I was in a position to run the bottom and be fine, but got pushed down into the inside wall and died. Hard.
Yeah, we went back and watched the replay. You were on the bottom, was in a position to exit the corner as close to that where the wall starts on the inside as possible. I mean, you were there. You were going to be there. You had a car to your outside that was about a half lane away from you. And then that was Ethan Toder, correct?
Yeah.
And then Barrett Bishop was on his outside.
Yes.
And to me, it looked like Ethan just came down. Like he had no reason to. You know, maybe it was just a little bit of a lack of awareness, the lap 1, turn 1 jitters. But there was plenty of room for all three of you to exit that corner cleanly. I mean, really, if anything, he could have rubbed up against Barrett a little bit, but he didn't have to do either. And he ended up coming down too far and basically just fucking just
forcefully putting me into the wall.
Yeah. You know, the old NASCAR Dirt to Daytona game, whenever I would run against the AI all the time at Martinsville, there was a wall like near one of the pit exits. I think the pit exit, and I would always push them all the way down. We'd be going full speed, and I'd just push them down right into that wall as they're going full speed, and I just blow right by them. That's exactly what it looked like to me, where you were side by side, you just get pushed down, and then you're gone, and he's gone the other direction. It was it wasn't the ideal start for you.
Not very fun. No, junked qualifying. And then got put into the inside berm. So we had to start, I don't even know, our P8 in the heat race.
Mm-hmm. You mean the LCQ?
Or the B main.
Yeah.
The B main. And wasn't that hot.
Yeah, I mean, you were
kind of got held up a little bit in a few spots, and I try to be patient. I guess I should have been a little bit more aggressive,
but it's a tough track to pass on in 10 laps or 8 laps, you know. I mean,
yeah.
But it looked like there, you know, because I was in the next LCQ, and it looked like there that the car just needed a little something. Once you finally did get in a spot where everybody's like, all right, we're kind of chill, then you could start trying to make your move, and there was nothing there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was not my best night. And probably the worst Pro Series night I've had in a while. Including like last year.
Yeah, I mean you're hella consistent. Even your off day, even one of your off days is usually still a decent run or a great run for someone like me. So then it was my turn. Starting pole of a B main, taking the top 4. I remember asking you after your LCQ, like, what does the car need? Because I think we could both, or all 3 of us, me, you, and Colin, we could all tell that like the car needed something. And of course, me and you running the same setups, it was kind of like, all right, what are we gonna do here? And you made a call. Colin agreed with it. We loaded it in.
It was good for about 2 laps.
I don't even know if it was. I don't know, man. Look, I'm going to say this. All right. Kiefer, I've been driving your sets for a year and a half, 2 years now. Colin started helping us recently with the late model stuff. I've been driving his sets for over 2 years. And all of the setups that you guys have sent me, I feel like that was the first one that you missed on, Yeah. And you admitted it. After that LCQ, you were like, yeah, that's on me. Right? You said that. So as frustrating as it was to kind of feel like it wasn't me, it was like, damn, that setup just wasn't it. As frustrating as that was, if I really look at it, I've been given so many sets that have always just been so fast. 1 out of however many, I mean, it's not a bad ratio. I could kind of tell right off the bat. I got a decent jump, but then I felt like I had no stick in 1 and 2, right there in the first corner. Dylan Wilson and I think Chase Hardy were all over me. And it snowballed from there. I was like, come on, like there's got to be something. Like I didn't feel like it was me, but I was like, maybe this setup will eventually come in, and I just kept slipping back. I'm like, come on, dude. I started pole this thing, and we're taking top 4, which is 2 more than usual, and I slipped all the way back to 5th, and I just had nothing once they got by me. I mean, they were just gone, and it was frustrating. But like I said, all the setups that you and Colin have given me over the course of my career of working with you guys, that one, I mean, that's fair to have. I mean, really just one setup where I'm like, damn, that wasn't very good. That's pretty good. So neither of us made the feature, which was kind of tough. But what are you thumbs upping about?
Hannah.
Thank you, Kiefer, for your participation in the class discussion. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
You a little exhausted from the heat today?
Dude, I'm dying. Low-key.
It's hot in here, I gotta be honest. But it was tough. I think the only other race this season that we both haven't made was Cedar Lake. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So we both sat that one out in silence. I should mention. But I was very upset, but I stayed and I watched. Kind of a bit of a boring race.
A doozy.
Yeah, I mean,
It was decent.
I feel like last year's Williams Grove race was a little bit better. This one I was watching a lot of the guys up front, and I didn't really see much. But it was just Evan and Blake up front, or Blake and Evan, I guess I should say, because Blake was leading, and It just kind of seems like right now, those two, if they're up front, they're tough to get around. Don't you agree?
They are. They don't make mistakes really. And like
And we've
the
said
one
that.
mistake Evans made was at Cedar Lake. He got tied that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Bullsin Rumsey. Wow.
Bullsin Rumsey. Speaking of Rumsey got third.
Yeah, he sucks.
Hey, Rumsey has been doing really, really well this season.
He has.
Picked up his first win.
Knoxville.
Yes, at Knoxville.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's been podium a lot. So,
he's there. Maybe he just needs to put his tongue back in his mouth.
Yeah, dude, Rumsey's. I think they should leave the camera on Rumsey the whole time. Speaking of which, they had the camera on me during my LCQ. Did you see that?
Mid-rage, yeah.
Yeah, mid-rage.
Wow.
That one, I was like, man, of course, like, I never get that animated whenever shit's not really going my way, at least not on the camera. But that one fucking time, I'm like, I can't do anything, and I'm like, and the camera's right on me, and I'm like, I go back and watch the broadcast the next day, and I was like, wow, of course it would be on me right then, which
Squirrel.
kind of, I mean, Darby, John Darby messaged me and we were talking about it, and he was like, I mean, it was cool to see some emotion, really. That's what he said about it, that camera being on me at that point.
Yeah.
And I feel like the emotion is kind of, I don't know, maybe it's because Kendall was kind of a little bit animated last week, winning his second race and in Pro Series and his first of the season. But honestly, man, there's a kind of a lack of emotion whenever there's these interviews and people racing.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because it's always Blake or Evan or Rumsey's gotten to the point where he's used to being up there in these Pro Series races and getting interviews. And I think if I was to get an interview, like for example, if I would have finished, if I would have won the heat whenever I qualified pole at Port Royal, that would have been a great interview.
Right.
That would have been a good interview. I would have really made a spectacle of it.
Well, now it's kind of just like what's it called?
Complacency?
No. That's what's like not predicted. What do you call that? Expected.
Yeah.
It's if you don't finish what's expected now, you're upset. But whenever you do what you're expected to, it's what you're expected to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
it's kind of like how I feel like the way it goes now and why it's like that.
I don't know. I mean, I guess my how did that heat go, by the way? We're not going to talk about that Port Royal Heat 1. All right. They actually canceled it. It actually got rained out. Yep. So, unfortunate. But I qualified pole, so whatever. But I mean, I feel like a lot of the guys that, like myself, I feel like that just haven't had the success in Pro Series, despite it being my second season, still just nothing really to write home about. I would definitely show some emotion in the interview if I had one, because as much as I can win an official, like a really high official or a hosted race or all these wins, pro qualifier win, like it still means more in the Pro Series. And so even just to top 3, I would be so stoked, and I would show a ton of emotion in that setting, in that interview, You know what I mean? Compared to you. I mean, you didn't.
Imagine making your bed because you're gonna be on stream. Yes.
He does it every
Exactly.
week. Every single week.
Right before.
So, while we're waiting on our special guest here,
I even put up my check.
Yeah, check that out. The check behind you. You wanna bring that a little closer?
When?
Don't forget to take off your headphones if you're gonna go do that. Yank them things out.
I think I can make it.
Oh?
Get it flipped up here? Yeah, that's not happening.
Boom. Looky there, ladies and gentlemen. $1,057 made out to Damian Kiefer. Guy has just been wheeling it this year in the B mod. Ooh, watch that. Watch that. Whoa.
Huh?
Whoa.
What happened? What happened?
Whoa. Nothing.
We're about to get demonetized.
Yeah, exactly. Can't have that. We'll have to edit that out in post-production. So, while we're waiting on our special guest, we've been talking throughout this entire podcast series. Every episode, I feel like we bring it up that we have these certain complaints, some issues with this new build that we have, right?
Right.
Yes. And I mean, we complain, not really complain, but there are a couple of things that we've really been hammering home in this podcast, like, about the track, about tire wear, about, the rubber, so to speak. And we have been given the honor to officially announce that in the 2023 Season 4 update coming next month, early September, Dirt Oval will be getting some changes to kind of address some of these issues that we've been bringing up. So essentially what we can expect, without getting too specific on like real numbers and stuff like that, is that the tire wear will be a little bit less aggressive. It won't be so drastic, I guess you could say. Right now, we've kind of felt like it's a little much. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Kind of, yes and no. It is, because, yeah, I would say it is, because even like in my real car, like 50 laps, I'm running a 60 lapper, so I'll be able to determine that pretty well. But I don't know. Yes and no. I think the tire wear thing could be better if you had like a softer or a hard tire.
Yeah, like options.
Yeah,
because it's not a one size fits all thing.
right. Because I feel like we're on like it's based off a soft tire.
Right.
That's and it doesn't work. It's got no grip and it's
Which,
slick.
Unfortunately, that's not in the update. It's not like we're getting different tire compounds, but
no.
I guess it would be more like now we're always going to be on a hard tire. With that's not an official thing, but if you wanted to equate it to something, it's like they're giving us a harder tire.
Right.
And then we will also have the tracks. The tracks will wear out quicker in the update. Obviously, don't know exactly how much quicker. Last build, it was very quick how fast the tracks wore out. In this current build, it's very slow. So quicker is what we're told. They said that the goal is to make it so that running through the slick is less advantageous later in a race, like we've been seeing. So like at Cedar Lake, where everyone ran right through the slick the entire feature, and it looked like it was rubber. Yeah, hopefully that's hopefully that's been adjusted. Apparently, tracks are going to be have the ability to be more bumpy. Right now, I feel like we get some bumps occasionally, usually near the bottom or the middle, and it kind of goes away as the track wears out. But that's going to be a little bit more prevalent. And then the visuals. Right now, one of the things that I've been complaining about the most is that the tracks just don't match visually how they feel, right?
Right.
Like if if it's light brown right now on this build, the light brown is like slick, right?
Yeah.
And the dark brown, like what looks like mud, is the fastest. The slick isn't even really all that slick. I mean, none of it matches up. And
the mud matches. Like, mud should be fast.
Well, it shouldn't be. I don't think the mud should be as fast as like, it shouldn't be slick, but it shouldn't be as fast as like that light brown.
I think what we're missing is like the slick. The slick needs to be adjusted.
Yeah. And apparently, so yeah, that's about it. That's what we should be able to expect from the update in September. A lot of issues. I'm not going to say addressed, but adjusted.
Yes. Maybe.
Brett's saying, so I'm going to have to turn my racing line off.
Maybe.
We'll have to see. I'm excited though, because if this is fixed, if these things are done the right way and they're in a positive direction, I feel like, these last two races, or the last two races, because Eldora next week will be on what we have, and then we'll have the update, not next week, maybe next week, I don't know, but we have a bye week, so to speak, after Eldora, and then Lincoln and Charlotte will be after the build. So hopefully Lincoln and Charlotte will be much, much better racing than we've seen so far in this build.
When?
So,
I'm answering. Oh no, Squidward fell. I know that's scary.
Yeah, is that on your wheel?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Did I just find the balance of things? I'm just that good.
That's a little weird, pal. So speaking of Eldora coming up, what are we expecting?
Results.
Top
10. That's the goal for me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what we have built for Port Royal and Knoxville should work really well at Eldora. We had to make a lot of changes to the Q Stuck set.
Yeah.
Q Stuck is what we're calling it. We had to make a lot of changes to that to work for Williams Grove, and I feel like we won't really have to make as many changes for Eldora. And I've always loved Eldora. One of my favorite tracks, even though it can get very top dominant. I love that place. I'm hoping again to make the feature, but more than that, you know what I mean? Like last year I ran, I think I finished 12th there, ran in the top 10 for a little bit. I don't know. I really think if what we have for qualifying is as good as I think it is, we should be able to qualify well and set ourselves up, both of us, for a good run at Eldora. Even though I got a feeling that it'll go very top dominant very quickly.
Hopefully not.
I hope not, but I could see it.
Just because
I think, yeah, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to fix that, unless
Hopefully there's a gnarly curve that whenever you hit it, you fly over the wall. That would be cool.
That would be neat. Yeah, I agree. So, do you now think that your real life experience at Eldora is going to help you at all next week? I have a feeling
Maybe
I
in
already know the answer.
qualifying, because all I'm going to do is stand on it.
Yeah, stand on it. That's one thing I'm glad that we can do on this new build is we can really freaking stand on it. We talked about that last week with Kendall, is that this new build, we're really able to stand on it. And at a track, I mean, I remember whenever the new build first came out, Eldora was the track that we were testing at for most of that day. And I just love the fact that at a track like Eldora, where you should just be fucking standing on it, that's what we're doing. So I like that a lot.
You do more than stand on it at Eldora.
Oh, here we go. Now he's talking. I've actually raced there before, guys. Okay, all right.
You do more than stand on it. What you do is you hit your foot on the gas pedal, and then you lock your brake foot behind your gas pedal foot, and you don't fucking lift. That's Eldora.
Just standing on it. Which you were in a modified with a little bit less horsepower than what we have in our iRacing dirt super late models. A little smaller tire, but
a little less dig.
I don't know, man. You got a lot of dig in that thing.
Wheelie Nation, man.
We haven't talked too much about your real life racing. Let me get my camera to focus here. If it'll focus. There it goes.
There it is. See, I told it to.
We haven't really talked too much about your real life racing on the podcast. I don't feel like I mean,
it's because I suck.
No, you definitely don't suck. You've won quite a few races this year. I mean, I remember last year. Wasn't it last year where you got the monkey off your back? Right, you got your first win.
Last year, it was like last year, like a year ago, like last Thursday.
Yeah.
Of my first official win.
First official.
And now we got 15 on the year.
15 on the year. And I don't want to say,
it's
hindsight,
the pro
whatever,
license.
But it's not. No, it's not it. I feel like I called it. Once you finally got that monkey off your back, I was like, now he's gonna start. Now he's got that off his shoulders. He can really start to build, and I saw a lot of wins coming this year, but to be honest, not as many as you've gotten. You've been really successful. What's the stat if you really want to get into it? I mean, the amount of races that you've ran versus the amount of races that you've won.
I think I've ran a total of like 32 nights so far. 15 wins.
Almost
like
50%.
Seven DNFs, and 5 of them we were leading the race, and then I haven't finished outside the top 5.
Have you?
Maybe twice or 3 times this year. Whenever I finished.
Yeah, and you finished 13th at Eldora, correct?
Yeah.
But I mean, you were running basically with the B mod against a mod competition at Eldora. So.
And I think if the
really
cars were
impressive.
better, we would have had a top 10 there as well. But
y'all have got something figured out with that car. I mean,
dig, not a lot. Little.
I don't want to brag on you or your car, but I'm going to. I think you really have probably one of the best B mods in the country. And
just wait till we get a little bit more grunt. We'll be coming for that A mod.
Hell yeah,
A-mod boys.
iRacing 25 wants to know when are they going to tell you if you're going to the Dome?
Whenever they tell me, I have no idea on that, boss. The last person asked that. No, well, you haven't missed your hero.
No, you haven't missed your hero, Honeycutt, because actually, he is coming on right now. Let's bring him in. Yep. Let's bring him in. Kaden, I think you are muted right now. But we got Kaden Honeycutt in here with us. There he is.
I'm here. Hello. I'm
Hello.
sorry. Stupid dang meeting caught me for almost an hour more than I thought it was going to be, but we're here. We'll talk racing.
Talk some racing. Hell yeah. I guess you're on your phone. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I am on my phone. Is it a good quality or is it bad?
It ain't too bad.
It's all right.
You kind of sound like Tanner Branch, which is, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, but it'll work.
I won't take it as either because I don't even know who it is.
That's fine.
Tate, hey, now easy now. Tanner Branch is the, I think the top guy at GRT now, correct?
Yeah, he is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what that is.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, Kaden Honeycutt, welcome to the podcast. You currently sit 9th in the World of Outlaws points. You picked up a 4th place finish at Williams Grove. You're also a Coke Series driver. I think this is your 2nd year in Coke Series, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you drive, and I should add, successfully drive, and can win in just about anything IRL. I mean, you've ran really well. I don't know. Have you won with the Cars Tour? I
have. Yeah, I've been fortunate to have 3 wins in Cars Tour in the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
This is my 2nd year trying to run trucks. Been doing it on a part-time basis here and there to try to pursue run a full season in the NASCAR Tracks and Truck Series. But yeah, I've been trying to do the Truck Series stuff, done a part-time deal there, and then I ran some ARCA stuff back in like 2018, 2019, I think, just a couple of times. But now I've been trying to do the NASCAR world, just trying to make it, try to be a Cup driver one day, but also done the dirt late model stuff. The Crate Car Series is what I do. I do the 604 with the Crate USA rules. Everybody's pretty familiar with that, I'm sure, that listens to the podcast. Been very fortunate to have success in that. But yeah, I just try to get my hands on anything that I can race, be successful at. I feel like if you can be successful, definitely in the dirt world, I definitely think you can be successful in the asphalt world. And the success I've had in the dirt world with modifieds and stuff like that is, it has definitely turned the driver in where I'm at today. And that's where I credit all to is the dirt world for sure.
So, I mean, it just kind of blows my mind, the amount of stuff that you race. I mean, you're a Coke Series driver, a pro dirt oval driver. You run all this shit IRL. Like, how do you have all this time? Like, what? Where?
Well,
that's why he's on the phone right now.
Well, I don't. I don't. But I somehow, man, I just love doing it. And I will always find a way to make it happen. And during the Coke stuff, I wanted to do the World of Outlaw stuff last year, but unfortunately, they didn't have the series last year. So I was like, all right, so I'll just do Coke Series this year. And I made it into that, and I dedicated all my time to it. And man, doing almost 1,500 to almost 2,000 laps a week was just so freaking difficult to keep up with. And
I can imagine now it's a full-time job.
Yeah, it really is, and it's so hard to do that, especially with those guys. I'd say at least more than half the field is dedicated towards doing that, and I work a 6 to 5, 6 to 6 job every day now, and it has definitely cut me back a lot more than what it has in the past. I was able to live off some savings that I've had, and that was what I was doing during the Coke Series. And now this year I'm not able to do that, so now I'm having to work, and I think that's why my dirt success is a little bit better than my freaking Coke successes, because every day, every week that we show up to the Coke Series stuff now, I'm either showing up on Sunday, the week right before the week of the race, or showing up the Monday week of the race, and I'm just having to learn everything and try to figure out how ins and outs of what I need. And and then I go into the race, and then there's one small thing I'm doing wrong, and that can turn me from running 15th or win or run 30th. And the Dirt Series just doesn't do that. You know, Dirt Series, you can either drive the damn race car or you can't. And that's why the dirt stuff is just. I'm not saying it's easier, but it's just a more of a natural feel. Yes, and I don't have to put in 15,000 laps a week to figure out a car.
Right.
It's pretty set in stone. With slick is slick. The tacky's tacky. You know.
Yeah.
Car's going to turn left. It's going to be a little free. It's going to be a little free.
Yeah. And that's what I like about the dirt world, and like especially like with my current dirt success and your dirt success as well. Just like running different lines and see, you can visually. It's almost a visual thing, and then where asphalt's probably. I've never had the experience to race asphalt, but I imagine is a little bit more trickier and not as.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit more obstacles.
Yeah, and also you're at the mercy of dirt people, but I mean you're at the mercy of asphalt people, like depending on people to push, depending on people to actually work with you. You know, the tire model is so finicky in that series, and you have to rely on people working with you. Dirt, you don't have to have tire management. You don't have to have all this crap.
It's you
to make it make your run worthwhile. But in Coke, you have to be patient. You have to conserve your tires. You can't push the guy in front of you. You have to you got to run the same line. You can't do the stuff on dirt. I mean, you can't do the stuff on asphalt. You can on dirt, and that's why I think that series is just more natural to me. So that's what I like to do, and that's why I think I'm just simply better at it than I am on the asphalt on the side of iRacing.
Kaden,
you know that.
I think one of our chatters wants to know what do you do for work, and he's curious if it's related to racing.
Yes. I work at Nice Motorsports on the truck series team that I'm trying to drive for next year, and I have a few races with this year. I'm basically a suspension specialist. Like I put gears in. I do rear end stuff. I basically all the stuff that goes underneath the truck. I assemble it and I put it on the truck. And that is my job, is to make sure everything has the right fittings, you know, the right
specifications.
Yeah, the right truck arm snouts and all that type of stuff.
I can imagine that's a pretty tedious job.
Yeah, and thankfully, you know, with our engineers, we have build sheets, and the build sheets that we get every week have exactly what truck arm slots and stuff like that need to go on the truck. So I can just go down, look at the build sheet, and go, all right, this is what we're running this week, and I'll put them in without having to ask anybody.
Right, which is nice to have the little to-do list and get to work with race cars. That's always it's almost not like a job if you enjoy the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we all say we hate working on the stuff, and we all do. We all do hate it, but we love it. Why else would we do it? You know?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty sweet
gig. Whenever we're going out, when we have to go outside to work on our car, we're not just going, I got to work on this thing. I got to do this. I got to do that. No, it's like, well, we got to figure out how to win next week, or I'm just going to go and figure out how to make this better, and not enjoy it or complain about it or throw a fit. You know, it's fun, and it's something that you want to do every weekend that you have off.
Right. Yeah, it is frustrating. Especially like a driver like you, like the caliber, like not winning is frustrating. And then whenever you do get a win, and then you know the grind to it, and that's why it's so special of a sport. And even like your run 17th to 4th this week at Williams Grove, like you grinded that feature, you worked your tail off and got it done.
Yeah, and that was a really big shocker to me. Was, you know, Williams Grove is just not been a great racetrack. Hell, I mean, you kicked my butt in one of the official races, and all of a sudden, like
I sucked. It's because I missed qualifying and I was terrible.
I missed qualifying completely. I didn't even get to turn a lap, so I tried to be a big brain and go test 5 to 10% track state on an offline session, and then come in and then think I was going to nail it, and not even load in fast enough to put a freaking lap in.
Damn.
But no, I got that one official race in. I was like, okay, I get the idea of what I need to do and what I need to be better on.
That was the one official race that I ran as well, and I was like, okay, here's what I got to do, and I didn't capitalize on like you did, but your wheel, you've always had success in almost everything you've done. I think it's what should we say? This talent.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like as far as multi-faceted, anything you set in, I mean, you're insanely talented.
Like I can drive a UMP, like my modified, like a dream. But I'm telling you right now, I jump in one of those tour cars like you drive. I'm probably running 38th. I don't know how many cars start the race, but 38th would be a good estimation.
It's just, I've been fortunate to be able to do it so long. I've been blessed to be able to race the stuff I have raced in my life and my career. You know, I've been able to have the experience to show up to a race, like for example, for the iRacing for the dirt world, and then I know exactly what to expect for the Coke world. And I'm able to take my two different driving styles and have the mindset of what I need to be doing to be successful, and know how to drive this, know how to drive that, and not have to, go through the whole process over and over again and not know what to do, instead of showing up and I know exactly what to do and I know how to do it. Right. And that's one of the things that I've been able to learn over time in real life that I've been able to transfer in iRacing. And you really just, obviously you can't really just buy that. You just have to experience it for yourself. And that's just one of the things that I think is so different from doing both series.
So my next question is, I have a lot of people, and I'm sure that you do as well, come up to me at the racetrack or text me online and just say, hey, is iRacing really that close or comparable? Does it really help? What are your thoughts on it? Because I have a few opinions on it, and I would just curious if your thoughts are similar to mine.
Man, honestly, for the asphalt side, the cup car and stuff like that, no. The truck is very similar to what I thought it would be. It's just faster than what it's supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But the grip level still feels there.
Right.
But it's just it's too fast.
On iRacing, it's too fast?
Yes.
Okay.
On the dirt world, I feel like everything is kind of exaggerated a little farther than what it needs to be at.
I would agree.
As far as a level of me wanting to get an iRacing car and then go and transfer that to real life, it's not realistic, but it gives you the idea. And that is all iRacing is supposed to do, is give you the idea on how to approach what you're about to get into, or run this week or run the next week, and show up to these racetracks and not have the experience, but it gives you the idea on how to do it.
Yes.
And that's what the sim is really designed me for, is to be ready for a weekend's race, not to be able to transfer iRacing to real life, because you can't do some of the stuff you can on sim, you can in real life. But
like the brake pedal. I'm not salty. Sorry.
You can just do you can just do that type of stuff of just give you the idea on what you need to be doing.
Right. And
go ahead, Keith.
I agree. I agree with him. I think it does help, just circumstantially it helps, and you can kind of see how you need to do certain things. Asphalt side, I don't really know enough, but the dirt side, yes, there are a lot of things exaggerated, but I think your lifting points are pretty similar, and how you approach just racecraft, I think, is one of the biggest things that I took from iRacing.
Yeah, and honestly, because of iRacing, I was able to build the racecraft I have offline and be able to transfer it into a real life. I was giving people like way too much space in real life. And then, more and more I race thing, the more and more I got more comfortable with it, and it just kind of just clicked.
Yes.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but it just did. And being able to race every single hour of the day, it will do that.
Right.
And that's what I tell some of the kids, that ask me in our race face group, say, well, what do you do iRacing for? I said, well, I use it as a tool. I don't get on to race rookie street stocks and destroy half the field for fun. I get on it to actually do something and be better at something I wasn't good at yesterday or last weekend's race.
Right.
And that's what just iRacing does. You're able to race every hour on different types of tracks and being able to do stuff that you just can't do in real life, or you don't have to buy.
Right. And I think that's great. Which one of the key parts of like who I've become personally as a driver is from the iRacing. And I think a lot of people respect my racecraft most of all out of anything, not just the speed or the success I've had or anything, but I can race everyone to the limit without touching them and have banger races with them. And I think that's what I struggled with at first, was just spacings and where I need to be and how I need to be and kind of expect what the other person's going to do, and preparing myself for it was kind of all fun to click together, like you said. And it's kind of cool to hear like how you use it compared to how I would use it, because the way you think about it's a little bit differently than I think about it. And I think I like the way that you think about it.
Yeah, just I can't just get on obviously and now and start wrecking people or running in the side
Right.
of guys. If you actually look at some of these guys' posts, like William Byron and some of these people that are known to be just straight hacks on iRacing, they'll comment on stuff on social media on how crappy of an iRacing you are and how much of a wrecking ball you are. So, well, he's probably just going to wreck the FT field because that's what he did on iRacing. Like for me,
Yeah.
I can't. Like I can't have that type of reputation, especially since I don't
Right.
have dollars to go up and move up in my career where I want to be at. So yes. I have to have some sort of brain cells to just not want to win an official race so bad and just wreck the guy for it. So,
right. And that's kind of like how I am. Like some days you just got to finish second. Yeah. And I'm sure you've learned that.
I've learned that.
IRL experience.
I've learned that in officials and shit.
Like the good example was Monday night. Like I got the third, but once I got to Evan and Blake, like what was I supposed to do? The only thing I could have done, which I really could well have, was just door them out of the way and put them in the fence. And I had at least 5 chances to do it, but I didn't do it because, first of all, they are very well respected people, and they very much earn where they're at. And also, like, it doesn't look good just doing that type of stuff, and you don't get respect that way from other people.
Right.
Yeah, no, and that's how I see it as well.
And now since I've done that, I feel like Evan and Blake would be like, well, he really cut us breaks at Williams Grove, just raced us really cleanly, didn't put us in the fence, and he very well could have. Well, I'm just going to race the guy clean because he did that to me one week. But as soon as you overstep that boundary and piss somebody off, the boundary is gone. Like you pretty much use your mulligan card for that week.
Right.
And pretty much have a target on the back of your head everywhere you go if you're around them. So I just feel like that way. Some people, maybe I'm wrong, but I try to like to think that way.
Yeah, drive others how you want to be treated, or drive others how you want to be driven.
Yeah, yes, and I feel like it's been a very well playing field this season. As honestly, this is the most playing field season I've ever seen compared to Coke. Coke is awful.
I will say, Kaden,
I can't express how much it just non-respectful driving and just over the head bonehead moves that we've had this season, and it's taken me out a lot of races. And it's taken out a lot of other people on races, and then now you're just bitching at each other and chirping at each other in the entire rest of the season, and you're just wrecking each other. And it's just been not a great experience for the Coke Series for me the past couple seasons. But I will say for as toxic as people think dirt world is, this pro season has been very it has shocked me for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, same as well, because I expected a lot of drama, and there hasn't been much.
Yeah.
I just have not any of that. I have not seen two people this year go at it every week running into each other. I just have not. I haven't seen it.
I agree.
So I applaud everybody for that, of course. I mean, should it be like that every week? Yeah, but is it really? No, because you have that crap in real life too. You have people that find each other out every week and they'll screw with one another. But this year and this season in pro has been very clean. I've been very fortunate to race with, I think, a great group of people. Yourselves included in that as well.
We had a little battle there for a little bit at I-55. No?
Yeah,
we had to beat me in that damn heat race, bro. Wow.
The fence is there. Sorry.
He said the fence is there, Kiefer.
Yeah.
Dude, we've brought it up a couple of times, Kaden, on episodes of this podcast, that you, throughout this late model pro series, have been one of the most aggressive drivers, and not recklessly aggressive, just aggressive,
yeah, not like reckless,
very aggressive this year in the pro series. It's kind of a level of aggression that I feel like we don't really see a lot, and there's just been some moves that you throw that work, and I'm like, holy shit, like that was aggressive, but he fucking pulled it off, or he tried it and it didn't work out, but he didn't kill anybody. It's like I just wanted to bring that up, that you have had some aggressive moves this season.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I try to practice what I play. Like, if I'm gonna go into official races and I'm gonna pull moves and stuff like that, I want to make sure it works and make sure that I do it the right way, because if I just do that and officials be like, oh, whatever, I just wrecked that guy or run into him, oh, whatever, move on. And then I go into pro and I do stuff like that. Well, I actually have consequences towards that.
Right.
And also, it's just flat out stupid. Like, it really, just to be honest, this is flat out dumb.
Yeah.
So I feel like, the move I made at Port Roy on the B main, I thought that was pretty fair. I had that move, put on me. I still don't know why I got that put on me, but.
Oh, you're talking about Herbert?
What's that? No, it was, I think I pulled it on Augustine, and I pulled it up.
Oh, yes.
Right. Yeah, that was we talked about that on that episode, was how aggressive you were in that B main.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, I thought that was fair. I didn't think I did anything dumb, but I guess I did. I just learned from it and don't do it again, I guess.
Yeah.
In the Cedar Lake deal, that was my fault. I completely came up on Toter and wrecked myself. Like, I deserve that.
Yeah.
But no, like the rest of this whole season, I feel like I've been trying to, you have to be aggressive in order to put yourself in a good position.
Yes, because every spot matters in every race. Like it.
Yeah, especially in a heat. Like, heat races are, I mean, obviously they're key, but like they're extra key when it comes down to second, third, and fourth.
Yes.
So I feel like this year I've been very fair with the heat races that I've been in and the people I've raced. And hopefully people feel the same way. If not, they can, respectfully, they can tell me to go screw myself and have a nice. That's fine.
A bologna sandwich.
Yeah, I'll learn from it, be better for the next one, and, qualify better, run up front better, like figure out how to heat race, don't put myself in that position to have to do that.
Right.
And that's just kind of things that I try to work on and to be better at.
So I got two questions. One from Mario in chat. The other one I have a question to you about, but the one from Mario is do any of us have pre-race rituals or superstitions? Kaden, you can go first on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. No freaking chicken.
No chicken.
I swear to you.
Wow.
I write it down in blood. There were 3 straight weeks. I started on pole, and I think it was a factory stock, Jessica? Was it Sport Mod or factory stock? One of the two. I can't remember what it was. I started pole in every feature, and I got wrecked in every single, all 3 of those weeks. And the one week I did not eat chicken, I started 12th, and I won the A main. And ever since, I do not do it. And one of the Dominion, there was this year at Car Store, one of my crew chief, his name is Jason. We started third, and we were running third for like 25 laps, and all of a sudden, a random right front hub melts in half and destroys our race. And well, not destroys our car, but takes us out of the race. And I go and ask him about an hour or so later. It's like, hey, what? I'm just curious. What did you actually eat? He goes, chicken. I go, no. Did you actually eat chicken? He goes, yeah, I did. I was like, oh, well, that's why we broke.
So it's not just you; it's the whole crew. Nobody can eat chicken that day.
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
If you do, you're my crew that night. I'm sorry.
Wow. I've heard this. I've heard the chicken thing like multiple times.
Absolutely no green touches my race car.
Wow,
green?
You are way more superstitious than I thought you would be,
dude.
Kaden.
I'm eating chicken. My car is green, dude. I got my number 0, and then I got like another little number 13 in it. Like I'm super the opposite of superstitious.
Do numbers for me. I think you can run any number you want.
It's just blowing my mind. I figured the amount that you raced, like any superstitions, just kind of went out the window. You know?
I promise you, and I got another one. One of my teammates was with Franklin County last year in Car Store. His name was Bobby. And I started 12th. He started like 6th. Me and him were 3rd and 4th by like lap 40 or something. We were ridiculous fast. And then he had a parts failure. And guess what? His entire crew and him ate before the race. Barbecue chicken. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, you have facts to back it up. I'll give you that. It doesn't seem too superstitious if you got the facts to back it up.
I mean, I think there has been a couple of weeks, like here and there, I've ate chicken and got away with it. But I'm telling you, the times that I did eat chicken and I knew it without even, like, when I do know that I'm doing it, it's bad news. I'm telling you, it's bad news.
I like chicken though.
That's a superstition.
Oh,
do you have any?
Yeah. Like Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, Zaxby's, like Bojangles. Come on, bro. Like,
I'm gonna have to try it. Not eating chicken.
Hard.
So that's a superstition. Do you have any pre-race rituals? Like anything you got to do before?
No, honestly. I mean, honestly, I don't really do anything. I kind of just wait. I wait for stuff to go happen, and I just either I get in the car and go, or just drink my water and before I get in, and then just go.
So Keith, what about you? It sounds like you don't have any superstitions. Any pre-race rituals?
Superstitions? No. Pre-race rituals besides staring down the racetrack for an hour, trying to just figure out what the racetrack's gonna do.
FaceTime me.
FaceTime Nathan on the way to the bathroom. That's a ritual.
FaceTime meets, you said?
Yeah, I FaceTime Nathan whenever I'm going to the bathroom, usually at the racetrack.
Oh,
yes.
Maybe I'll have to do Tanner then.
Yeah. We can do a 3-way call next time.
That works. I
had a shower curtain as my door Saturday, dude.
With
and
a
it had
hole,
a massive
a hole
that
big in it. That was
and
the door.
Right
he
literally was.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Man, dirt tracks, man, can't beat them.
Gotta love them Midwest dirt tracks, them shit holes out in the middle of nowhere. So, my answer, I don't really have any superstitions. The only pre-race ritual that I really like doing is I get home from work. Of course, my pre-race ritual is just for Pro Series races because I'm not like y'all. I don't race IRL, but essentially get home from work. I usually like to get home from work, eat a little bit, make some laps, then play Rocket League with Kiefer and Hannah, and then about 45 minutes before the race, get back on iRacing, make a couple more laps, and then start it. So that's my pre-race ritual. My other question for you, Kaden, the last question that I have for you is, how are you feeling going into Eldora? I mean, you're 9th in points. You just came off a 4th place finish. how are you feeling about Eldora next week?
With the new update, it's definitely. I wouldn't say it's helped or hurt me. I've always struggled with running the fence at Eldora on a consistent basis, and I think it's harder for me now because of the way the new damage model is. Basically, once you touch it, it just shoots the car straight. I don't know why, but it's just one racetrack where I cannot run the fence on a consistent basis. Fairbury and all those types of tracks, I can run the fence like really fine, know where my car is at. And Eldora is just a track that I just have not caught that down. But no, like as a speed preference for Q and for a race so far, I feel in the official races I've done, I feel fine, honestly. I just need to be in a practice session by myself and just look at visuals and find any sort of way I can find to be consistent on running the wall. Because, man, it's going to come down to it. Rubber's going to build up, and it's just going to be right around the top. And I feel like if you don't know how to run it, you're just going to get your lunch pounded in. I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree.
That's just how it is.
The race will be won up top for sure.
Yeah, and I've tried running bottom and stuff like just running middle wall, middle top, slider line. Dude, none of that crap, none of it works. It's just going to be full blown fence, pound down the entire 50 laps.
I can't wait.
That's the way the pre-gen is set, obviously, but that depends on it. The pre-gen will depend on if it's middle bottom early, or if it's a stop all the way around. But we'll see. But no, as a speed standpoint, from Speed Ranch and everybody, they've already done a fantastic job of already building a good base, and obviously we got some work to do to keep building on it. You don't build it in 5 hours and then call it good. There's always something that could be better.
There's always something better.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always something that's got to be better, and we're getting there. Those laps that Tanner and Jordan put in are just, I don't know how to appreciate them and our drivers at our camp for the work they put in. So we'll just keep on plugging it on, and a good goal for me would be top 10 in points for my rookie year, and then next year hopefully be in the series to try to run for obviously top 3 in points or the championship. So we'll just keep on chugging along. That's all we can do, and be more consistent in qualifying for sure is something I need to work on.
Hell yeah. Well, Keith, you got anything else for Kaden?
Not at the moment. Not at this time.
All right. Well, Kaden, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. Again, congratulations on your 4th place run, and hopefully
recent success.
Yeah, all of your success, and everything that you do, man. Really, really cool to see. And good luck to you at Eldora. Hopefully we can all have a good race together, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Good luck to you guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks, buddy. Well, all right. Well, that was Kaden Honeycutt. Another great guest. Love it. Love these guests, man. We always have great guests. I mean, this is the set. I really want to take a second here to get a little sappy. This is the 7th episode of this podcast. This was an idea that me and Kiefer had the Saturday, I think, or the Friday after the first Pro Series race, and we did the first episode that next day. The amount of support, the views, the comments, everything, the guests has been amazing. And I really personally, I'm sure Kiefer does, we really appreciate all of it. I didn't expect it to be as well received. I knew I had a really good feeling that me and Kiefer would do a good job of it. I just didn't know exactly how people would take it, and how the content would come out. But I really appreciate everybody for all the support, for sure.
Win.
And there's the win, as always. It's been
Rumsey loves
really
it.
Cool. Rumsey does?
Yeah, he's actually a big Win fan. Yeah, he said it earlier. Don't worry.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I said it. He said it.
Yeah.
He's a big Win fan. Yeah.
Yeah, Rumsey's in on it now on the Win. Bocus
Focus,
is.
Focus is fully on board.
Yeah.
Mario's on board.
Yeah. It's a whole movement.
Hannah's on
dude.
board. Hannah's on board.
Hannah's always on board. Hannah always literally.
Yeah.
Like so
She
here's
just loves
the
me.
flow. Here's the flow chart. All right. Kiefer comes up with some stupid shit, and then I start saying that stupid shit, and then Hannah starts saying that stupid shit. The only time I've done it one time where I came up with the stupid shit, then Kiefer came up with the stupid shit. But in that case, Hannah did not fall into the trend. But usually it's Kiefer that's coming up with
here,
dumb
dude.
shit.
This place is already haunted.
Exactly, that's it right there.
Get on air, dude. This place is already haunted.
Yeah.
We
Well,
appreciate the support, Brett, and the bits earlier.
yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Brett. Let's get caught up here. We got Brett
What?
followed actually. So thank
Wow.
you for following in the bits. iRacing 25, thank you for the follow, and Huey, thank you for the follow. Everybody, all the support, so very much appreciated. I think that'll about wrap it up for this episode. What do you say, Keith? Any closing
Dude.
thoughts before we close this one up?
My mic can move.
I need to get me one of them mics.
It's so sick. I don't know why.
That's
I've
the
never
same one
invested
Bocus
in
has,
something.
correct?
Yeah, that's what he told me about. So I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, and wait, what's a good song to sing? What should I sing?
All right, that means we're really about to wrap this thing up. If you're gonna sing,
say
I will literally mute you.
you see
Oh, brother. Kiefer is.
early light, what's so bright?
Dude, I can sing. Low key.
Holy shit! It's the Statue of Literally. Oh my
Man.
god. All right, well that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Chat. Thank you all for hanging
Yes,
out.
it was $15 on Amazon. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Next week at Eldora, Monday night. Be sure to tune in and watch
Wow.
on iRacing's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on Dirt Vision for free. Yeah, hopefully me and Kiefer can put together a solid night and you know, kind of hopefully end the season on a good note these last 3 weeks. So thanks for tuning in, and I guess we'll see y'all in the next one.